It seems that a bank is an excellent place to store your money. However, almost no one considers the secrets lurking behind the walls of this financial institution. Billionaire Henry Ford said, "It's a good thing many people don't know how the banking system works, as this could lead to a revolution." The level of financial education is still very low, and this is one of the main causes of the enormous wealth inequality in the world. You can't become truly rich unless you know how to handle money efficiently and strategically. Today, I will share with you the secrets of banks that only the rich know, how the banks profit from you, and what is the best way to use your money so that it doesn't fall into the pockets of greedy bankers. Get ready to discover these secrets right now. Welcome to the main channel on finance. Apply now if you dream of achieving financial independence and prosperity. Already in the 7th century BC, prosperous city of Babylon had its first bankers who borrowed money at interest. It was then that the first notes appeared, which had the same value as gold. The word bank has Italian roots and comes from bank, which means table. Originally, banks dealt with the exchange of large amounts of money in small exchange currencies and other financial operations. With the development of economies, initial banking offices in different countries have essentially expanded the list of services offered. The world's first official private bank is considered a cartel of private users from Genoa. The bank received the first major loan from the authorities of the Republic of Genoa to finance a war in 1148. The bank was the first to be established in Italy. In return, he was allowed to collect some taxes from the citizen. In 1407, the internal policy of the organization was formalized, and the Bank of St. George was officially established. At that time, people began to have an ambivalent attitude towards the banking system. On the one hand, it was a solid and conventional financial instrument, but on the other, everyone considered bankers to be either greedy or cunning swindlers. In addition, money lenders were deprived of communion and normal Christian burial, which only increased distrust. In modern times, it is difficult to say that people's attitude towards bankers has changed drastically. This distrust is quite justified, since the banking system and the principles of its functioning still cause fear and skepticism. There is no doubt that even your bank has secrets, and now I will tell you more about them.
Banks do not store money. Cash deposits are often advertised as one of the most reliable tools for generating passive income. Only problem is that in many countries, this income option simply does not work efficiently. After all, the interest rate on a deposit will never cover the inflation rate. For example, according to statistics from 2020, major banks in Switzerland offered a deposit interest rate of no more than 0.5 to 1.5%, while the average inflation rate was 1.5 to 2%. We can conclude that your income will be completely eaten up by inflation. Banks often deliberately lower interest rates because it does not directly benefit your wealth. However, it is profitable for them to keep this money, as they allow people to open deposits at a lower interest rate and then lend this money to other customers at a slightly higher interest rate, earning money on the difference between the two interest rates. In addition, the authorities are also interested in such manipulations with your money. Banks circulate your money in this way, which means that not only the owner has access to the deposit, but the government also has some level of control over citizens' money. This is why the super rich are always looking for ways to protect their wealth. Banks serve themselves primarily. The biggest customers of banks are, in fact, the banks themselves. They exist to serve themselves, with other customers being secondary. Money deposited in a bank becomes its asset, and any money borrowed from the bank remains its asset. The bank is almost always in an advantageous position, so it always acts on its own behalf. Banks will never fight for the person who keeps the money with them, rather for their own interest and control. The fact is that when you deposit money in a bank, it is no longer just your property, but also becomes an asset of the bank. A bank's credit limit always depends on how many deposits it has, and the ratio is always unfavorable to its customers. Banks do not lend money to people who look poor. Bankers are the most impeccably dressed professionals in the world, and they judge, consciously or unconsciously, the appearance of those around them. If a customer does not look well, the bank will not want to give them a loan. If the borrower looks like he needs the money, they will probably not understand his need. If they look like they don't need it, they'll probably get what they want. The only exception to this rule is having a bank account. In this case, staff can check whether the person is really wealthy. But if there is no bank account, they will judge clients by their appearance and quickly draw a conclusion. Bankers receive an annual bonus for loans. Of course, the bonus does not go to all employees, but only to those responsible for issuing loans. As a rule, these are managers. This is not a bad thing, because the bonus depends on the loans granted, which must be reliable. Everyone in the bank wants an extra paycheck at the end of the year. That's why they may be more willing to approve applications closer to that date. Most of the time, this happens without them even realizing it. At the beginning of the year, the manager doesn't feel pressure to approve loans, but at the end of the year, there is a fear of losing the bonus for not approving enough applications. In addition, no one wants to be labeled as incompetent. So if the client doesn't take the money, the bank employee will lose the annual bonus. This is how rich people use this situation. They go to the bank to get the maximum amount possible because they have the necessary collateral and credibility. Banks profit from you. Banks have a very valuable resource, a customer database. They convert this database into new offers, increasing their profits. Furthermore, it is not uncommon for banks to secretly sell their customer bases to other financial institutions, such as microcredit bureaus or even to scammers. It all depends on how conscientious the bank employees are. We should also mention the commission fees charged on your credit card. Here are two ways they profit from you. They offer you a card with a certain status for which you have to pay a fee, or they can charge you a fee called shadow tax that you pay simply by using your credit card. This is done without you noticing. After all, when you buy goods with a credit card, the tax must be charged to the seller. The seller, in turn, inflates the price of the goods, and as a result, you are essentially paying the shadow tax. Better conditions for the rich. For banks, businesses are like any other business. They have shareholders to whom they are accountable. If their business model is not profitable, they will not survive. This is why they feel much more comfortable lending money to a wealthy person than to a poorer person. This is because if the wealthy person cannot repay the loan, they could sell part of their business to pay off the debt. Banks do this to ensure that they can get a loan from a wealthy person, even if the bank goes bankrupt. Therefore, proper financial management is crucial. The information I have shared today is not intended to discourage you from working with banks altogether. There are some aspects of managing your personal finances that are worth considering. For example, instead of making a deposit, it may be better to invest your money or put it into a business. And instead of using your credit card, it is sometimes more advantageous to pay in cash, so as not to become a victim of shadow tax. Don't be fooled by the system, as it is the only way to achieve wealth today. Banks play a complex and often misunderstood role in our financial lives. Understanding their secrets and tactics can help you make more informed decisions and better protect your wealth. Remember, financial education is the key to economic independence. Instead of blindly trusting banks, explore alternatives like investing and starting your own business to maximize your financial potential. If you want to continue learning about finances and discover more strategies to achieve prosperity, subscribe to our channel. Don't miss our upcoming videos packed with valuable tips and financial insight. Join us on the journey to financial freedom.